So today we will concentrate on SLR parsing table construction. So before going into this parsing table construction, we need some preliminaries. So let's take the glimpse of those preliminaries. First one is the augmented grammar. So what is an augmented grammar? Augmented grammar is very simply for one thing. This is that suppose you have a grammar, anything. So just look into the starting symbol. Suppose your starting symbol is S, means suppose you have rules like S produces AA and next A produces BC, etc., etc., etc. So whatever with this, no need to concentrate on those. Just you need to concentrate who is the starting symbol of the given grammar. Here it's S. So the augmented grammar is nothing but just we will add one more production rule of the form S. Suppose I am giving the name of the new symbol added as S prime. So just I am adding this like one production rule, S prime produces S. So previously I have some given rules and now I have added one more. So this entire is the augmented grammar. So the augmented grammar in a very gist could be stated as given grammar plus one more rule, new added symbol, suppose S prime produces S, where S is the previous one given starting symbol. So this is the augmented grammar. Next one concept is that what we have to produce LR0 items or simply known as items. What is this? Items. They are also very much simple one thing. Suppose you have a rule like A produces BC. So from this rule, how many items could be generated? The thing is that at how many different positions you can add dots. So first one is that I can add dot over here. Next one is that I can add dot over here. So the rule becomes this, or I can add dot here. So these are the three items generated from the original rule A produces BC. Means the different positions available for adding up the dots. So uh, if the rule was like A produces BCD, then for first rule I can add dot over here. For the next rule I can add dot over here. Next one rule I can use dot over here, and finally dot over here. So dot BCD, first one. Second, B dot CD. Third one, BC dot D. And fourth one, BCD dot. So how many items could be generated from here? 4. And here it's 3. So if the rule is like A produces epsilon, so epsilon means actually nothing. So it does just like a vacuum. So it does not matter whether you are adding dot over here or adding dot over here, because it's just the vacuum. So both are same. So in other words, if the rule is A produces epsilon, then only one item could be generated, that's A produces dot. So this is the what? This is the items. Now next one is that next one concept we have to we must know what is that, the preliminary idea of closure. Just we have the idea of closure at our discrete mathematics class. uh, just concept is almost same. So here suppose you have a rule this like, uh, suppose S produces this is, so this is the rule. So what's the closure? Now closure, while finding the closure, we must add this rule first. Okay, so this is the first rule of the closure set. Next one we will see, after dot what is there. After dot there is uh, a, capital A. So we have to look, is there any rule where A is produces something? If none is there, then our work is complete. But if we have found any such rule like A produces BC is there, so we will add that rule with preceded by dot. Next, who is following dot? Small b. Is there any rule? Small b is producing something? No, it's not possible because small b is a terminal. So, no such rule. So, our work is over here. Now, suppose here instead of small b, there was capital B, and there was a rule like capital B produces something. So, we have to add that one also, and like this. So, this is the basic concept of closure. Another one thing, closure set can't be empty. Why? Because I have told the rule for which you are making the closure, that at least that one have to be added. So at least one rule should be there in the closure set. Means closure set could not be empty one. Next one is go to. What's go to? Here for finding go to, just in closure what I have told, for finding closure you will be given with one rule. Now in go to, here one set of this like items would be there. Okay, suppose this is the set, and one uh, symbol would be there. Symbol may be terminal or non-terminal. Suppose for example, just a the set of rule is this like, S produces A, B, small c, where B produces uh, capital B, small b. Suppose this like capital C produces small c, and so on. So these are this is the set of rules. Suppose you have denoted this set as suppose U. So this is the set, and the symbol is given as A. Means you are you want to find go to of U comma A. So U is this set and A is the symbol. So go to UA. So when you want to do, just first you look here, is there. So just I am adding the dots here. Suppose these are the this is the set. So first you look in the given set U, is there at least one rule? Is there any such rule where A is just behind the dot, A is following the dot? Is there any rule? If no such rule is there, just the go to U comma A will result to an empty set which is not of any use. So just there is one discrimination also among closure and go to, is that in go to you can obtain one empty set, but in closure always something would be there, at least that rule one. So now here I am looking that okay, A is following dot here. So what I will do? I will write this one, A dot BC, means just A was followed by the dot. Here dot has made one right shift, means this is. Now this is your rule, and you have to find closure of this rule. So in closure, obviously this initial rule would be there. Next I will look who is following the dot B. Is there any rule where B is producing something? Yes, there is the rule. So I will add that rule up with dot. Okay. So this, now next I will think that is there any rule where here dot is just before of the C, preceded by the C. Hope so we will see if there is any rule. C is producing something. Yes, there is the rule. So this line. So means while finding go to, we will look if there is any rule where dot is just before of this given symbol. If we have found any such, then just we will do what, we will just make the dot one position, right shift, and find the closure of this. So this is the go to. So with this preliminary concept, just augmented grammar, items, closure and go to, now we are in position to find the SLR parsing table. So how we can do that? So first of all, just let us consider a grammar. Suppose S produces this, suppose sorry, this S produces epsilon. S produces within parenthesis S, and S produces epsilon. So here capital S is the non just non-terminal, and terminals are open brace and closed brace. So this is the given grammar. So first our task is to find the augmented grammar. So finding augmented grammar is very easy, as we have learned. So this is the augmented grammar. Now as the first one, we have to find the initial state as closure of S prime produces dot S. What will be the answer of this? Would be the initial state. So initial state is in closure. What we have told, first we have to add this rule up. So S prime produces dot S should have to be added first. Now who is after dot? S. So we will write the rules generated by S, means these two. So now who is after dot? After dot there is open brace. Open brace is a terminal, so none can't be produced by open brace. So our work is over. So this is the first state. Let us name it as state I0. So this is the next. We will see that how many go-tos are possible. So here we are observing that dot is just preceded by S here, and another thing, dot is preceded by open brace. So only two go-tos would be there. First one is by S, another one is by open brace. So first consider this. So how what would be the result? First we must have to right shift the dot, and it produces this. Now we have to find closure of here, but after dot there is nothing, so nothing could be added. So our work is over. So this is I. Let's the state is I1, or the set. Here first what we have to find the closure of S produces what? S produces just dot has been shifted one position. So this. Next, who is after dot? S. So is there any rule generated by S? Yes, there are. So we have just added them up. So this is I2. Now from I1 nothing, no go to could be there. Now from I2, who is following dot? One is S and another is open brace. Now with S, what would be there? With S, just I am doing the go to. So again one right shift means S would be here. So dot was preceded by S, now S dot is after, just after, followed by the S. So closure of this is only itself, because here after dot there is closed brace and nothing could be produced by closed brace as it is the terminal. So let's give name as I3. Another one here is dot is preceded by open brace. So now open brace, so we have to find what? We have to find go to of S produces dot one position sheet, means open brace dot S close brace, means go to of these, sorry, closure of this. So closure of this means this entire set. So go to of open brace is pointing to this I2 set itself. Okay, so for I2 set our work has been over. Now we are going to set I3. Now in I3, what's there? In I3, here just we are doing go to by closing brace. So what's there? One position shift means here after dot there is nothing, so no more, no go to could be possible. So it's the final result of the transition. Now we are in position to construct the parsing table itself. Now let's which was the original rules? This was rule 1, this is rule 2. Okay, and let's this is rule 0. Now we have to construct the parsing table. Now for this purpose we have to find the follow set of the non-terminal, means S. So here for S, as it's the start symbol, so its follow set contains dollar, and here uh, closing brace is followed by the S. So obviously closing brace would also be at the follow set. So S's follow set is closing brace and dollar. Next, just for construction of the parsing table, what we will do, just again we must have to uh, look into this diagram. So now in this diagram how many states are there? 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So just these are the rows of the table: 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So these are the, now who are the non-terminals? So they are being written under action. So the non-terminals are open brace, close brace along with dollar. And who are the terminals of the given grammar? They are written under go to. This is S. So this. Now here from 0, where we can make it transition? So by S to 1. Next by S, sorry, by open brace to 2. It's written under action, we will write here as shift 2. Next from 1 nothing is there, from 2 open brace to, and by S to 3, by S to 3. Next one from 3 only closing brace to 4, from 3 closing brace to 4, and from 4 nothing is there. So these are for just the shifts. Next one we will look among these who is containing S prime produces S dot, it's 1. So accept its placed at one's row and at dollar column. So here we will mark accept. Next for reduce is that first look to the rule 1. What is there? S produces brace within brace s. So we will search where rule 1 followed by dot is there, means s produces bracket s, next dot, where it's if we look, we will find that it's in where it's in 4. So in the fourth row, in which column? Just the columns are follow set of s, means left hand side of the rule. So closing brace and dollar we will write reduced by rule 1. Now for rule 2, s produces dot, where it's s produces dot at 2, sorry, at first one is at 0, at 2, in these two. So for the row 0, again that 2 columns we will add R2, and for 2 also same thing, this. Why these 2 columns? Because the left hand side of the rule is S, and this one rule S, and the follow set of S is these two, closing brace and dollar. So this is the parsing table constructed, and next in the next video we will discuss how we can do the parsing. Thank you.